Your card gets declined at the gas station. $11 and the machine beeps like you did something wrong. The guy behind you sighs. You mumble that it's fine, you'll use another card, but there is no other card. You walk out without the gas. You sit in your car in the lot and you do not cry. You just sit there because crying would mean admitting something you are not ready to admit. Here is what nobody tells you in that moment. The bank did not decline your card because you are broke. The bank declined your card because being broke is not the problem. Being unpredictable is the problem. And somewhere inside a building you will never enter, a system already knows the difference between the two, and it has already decided which one you are. You do not know it yet, but that decision is going to follow you for the next 15 years. Rewind. You are 22. You have a checking account your mother opened for you when you were 16. The kind with a cartoon logo and a debit card that still has your old address printed on the back. You get your first real paycheck, $1,400. It feels like a fortune for about 6 hours. Rent takes $400. Groceries take $120. Your phone bill, your car insurance, a subscription you forgot you had. By the 10th of the month, you are checking your balance before you buy coffee, doing math in your head that you should not have to do for a $4 drink. You are not broke. You would never call yourself broke, but you are one bad week away from a problem you cannot solve, and you do not know it yet. The overdraft happens on a Tuesday. A subscription renews itself for $9. You forgot to cancel it. The account goes negative by $5.40. $5. The bank charges you $35 for the privilege of being $5 short. You stare at the notification like staring at it will change the number. It does not. You call the bank. The hold music loops 3 times. A voice finally answers, reads from a screen, tells you the fee cannot be reversed today, maybe next time. There is no next time that matters because next month it happens again, a different $9, the same $35, and now you understand something the account never explains out loud. The fee is not a punishment. The fee is data. Every time you go negative, you are teaching the bank something about you, and the bank is writing it down. This is the secret nobody says at the counter. Banks do not really make their money from people who have money. They make it from people who almost do not. The overdraft fees, the minimum balance charges, the maintenance fees on accounts that dip below $1,500, those exist because millions of people live exactly where you are living right now, close enough to the edge to fall over it every single month. You are not an exception to the system. You are the business model. You do not know it yet, but the moment you stop giving them that data is the moment everything starts to change. For a while, you do not even try to fight it. You just accept the fee like weather. Some months it rains, some months you overdraft, and you tell yourself that is simply what it costs to be someone starting out. You watch other people your age post photos of new apartments and new cars, and you assume they have some advantage you were never given, a parent who helped, a job that paid more, something you do not have access to. It does not occur to you that the difference might be smaller and stranger than that. It takes you 2 years to notice the pattern. 2 years of fees, 2 years of a credit score that will not move no matter how many bills you pay on time. 2 years of a teller who is polite in the exact same distant way every single time, like she is reading from a script that was written for someone who is not quite a person yet, just an account number with a face attached. Then a coworker mentions something offhand. He says he has not paid an overdraft fee in 6 years. You ask how? He says he stopped keeping his money where the bank could see it move. He explains it simply. Direct deposit goes into checking, but the same day before anything else touches it, an automatic transfer moves most of it somewhere the bank cannot casually reach. A separate savings account, sometimes at a completely different institution. What is left in checking is exactly what covers the month. Nothing more, nothing extra for the system to tempt you with, nothing extra for a subscription to quietly drain. It sounds almost too simple to be a secret. But here is the part he says next that actually changes things. He tells you the number matters less than the pattern. Banks are not actually looking at how much money you have. They are looking at how consistent you are. A person who gets paid $1,600 every 2 weeks without fail for 6 straight months looks safer to a bank than a person who makes 4,000 one month and 800 the next. Consistency reads as low risk. Low risk gets forgiven, chaos gets charged. You do not know it yet, but you are about to test this without even meaning to. You start small. You move $300 into a separate account the same day it lands automatically before you can spend it, before you can even see it as spendable. It feels like losing money. For the first 2 months, it genuinely does not feel like anything changed. The checking account still runs thin by the end of the month. You still wince at the balance, but something else starts happening quietly in the background. 6 months of the same deposit on the same day, every 2 weeks, without a single overdraft, without a single missed payment. You are not richer. You are the same person with the same paycheck. But the bank system has started reading you differently because the thing it actually rewards is not wealth, it is boredom. It wants you to be predictable. The letter arrives in month 7. Your maintenance fee, the $12 a month you had stopped even noticing you were paying, is waived, not because you called, not because you asked. The system saw the pattern and decided on its own that you were no longer worth squeezing. You sit with that fact longer than you expect to. For years, you thought the fee was about the number in your account. It was never about the number. It was about the shape of your behavior. The bank did not care that you were poor. It cared that you were unreadable. You do not know it yet, but the real secret is still one layer deeper than this. A year later, you apply for a small loan, $1,900, to fix a car that finally gave out. You expect the same wall you hit at 22, the same slow no, the same polite deflection. Instead, it takes 48 hours. The rate is not incredible, but it is fair. The loan officer does not ask why you need it. She barely looks up from the screen. To her, you are not a risk to be interrogated. You are a pattern that has already answered every question she would have asked. This is the part that stings a little if you let it. The version of you that needed help the most, the 22-year-old sitting in a gas station parking lot with a declined card, was the version the system trusted the least. The system does not extend patience to people in crisis. It extends patience to people who no longer look like they need it. Help arrives fastest for the people who can already prove they barely need it. And that is the actual secret sitting underneath every fee, every rejection, every polite no from a bank that will one day call you first. 2 years after the loan, something happens that you did not expect at all. A different bank calls, not yours, a competitor, offering to move your accounts over with a bonus attached. You almost hang up assuming it is a scam, but it is real. They pulled a soft look at your history and decided you were worth paying for. This is the part nobody explains when you are 22 and drowning in a $5 overdraft. Once you become predictable, you stop being someone institutions tolerate and start being someone they compete over. The same behavior that once got you ignored now gets you courted. And the only thing that changed was time. You stay with your original bank anyway, not out of loyalty exactly, more curiosity. You want to see how far the pattern carries you if you let it keep running. A representative reaches out about a credit line increase you did not request. Your interest rate on a new card is lower than the one your coworker got, the same coworker who told you the trick in the first place because his pattern was 6 months old and yours is 4 years old now. The system has a memory and it rewards duration more than it rewards effort. You still think about that $11 decline sometimes, not with anger anymore, more like the way you think about a stranger you used to be. Back then, you thought the problem was that you did not have enough money. The actual problem was that you had never given the system enough time to trust you, and nobody had ever bothered to explain that trust. A bank is not built through struggle. It is built through repetition. Here is what they never tell you at the counter because there is no incentive for them to say it out loud. The fee you pay when you are struggling and the interest rate you get when you are stable are not two separate systems. They are the same system reading the same signal at two different points in your life. Chaos gets charged, consistency gets forgiven. The bank was never judging how much you had. It was always judging how steady you were willing to become. There is a version of this story where you never hear it from a coworker at all, where the 2 years of overdraft fees become 5, then 10, where the pattern the system reads is not steadiness, but exhaustion. The same $9 subscription, the same $35 fee over and over, a loop that looks like bad luck, but is actually just an unbroken signal sent every month telling the system exactly who to keep charging. Most people never hear the version where it breaks. They just keep paying, assuming the fee is the cost of being who they are, never realizing the fee was only ever the cost of being unpredictable, and that the unpredictability was never their character, it was just their calendar. You are still not rich. You still check your balance before payday, still feel that small flicker of tension in the last few days of the month, but the account no longer punishes you for existing near the edge because you stopped handing it the one thing it was actually watching for. Somewhere right now, someone is sitting in a parking lot with a declined card and $11 of gas they cannot buy. They think the problem is the number. It was never the number. It is whether the system can predict them yet. They do not know it yet. But the secret was never hidden in a vault. It was hidden in plain sight, in every fee they paid without asking why, in every no they accepted without asking what would turn it into a yes. The bank was never keeping something from them. It was just waiting to see if they would ever become boring enough to trust.